And welcome to another edition of Visit Las Cruces Live, the Real New Mexico podcast. I'm Ned Carnathan, your host. And today, we're in the hottest place in town, and that is the New Mexico State University Chile Pepper Institute. April Beauchemin with us right now. April, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Great place here. We've been here before. We've taken the tour, didn't we, Norm? We took the tour. We heard all about this place. Fantastic for visitors to come in and check it out. Locals as well. You want to come by and find out all about the chili, a big thing here in southern New Mexico.
Absolutely. We are in New Mexico, the chili capital of the world, home to what is known as the green chili of Hatch, as well as red chili up in northern New Mexico.
April, now thank you for having us here today. And we're hanging out here in the Fabian Garcia Center.
That is correct. This is the Fabian Garcia Research Center,
Yes.
named after Fabian Garcia himself, one of the first graduates of New Mexico State University and what I consider the grandfather of the New Mexico chili industry.
Definitely, Fabian, the grandfather, the godfather of chili here in New Mexico. Now, this is, a super important place. You guys do research here. Mm-hmm. You guys are selling great products here in the gift store. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do here.
So our primary goal here at the Institute is to educate people about chili. Of course, New Mexican chili, the history of New Mexican chili, but also just chili in general and the global history of chili. We do offer a lot of products here in the gift shop, but we also have an annual plant sale every year where it's a big fundraiser where you can get your locally grown chili, tomato, squash, zucchini, herbs, and flowers. We also host the New Mexico Chili Conference every year, the first Monday and Tuesday in February. We also attend local events and events all throughout the state that have either a need for chili education or for chili connoisseurs.
Green chili, red chili. There's how many varieties out there right now? I know we've talked about that before when we took our tour.
So there are thousands of domesticated varieties, if not tens of thousands. Right. There's probably several hundred wild varieties, but the domesticated varieties vary very much because they hybridize quite easily. So even just growing, a jalapeno and a New Mexican chili in your garden one year and saving the seed, you can get your first generation hybrid with that seed the next year. So they're always changing, and new developments are always being made here at NMSU and other facilities like other farms and other universities across the country.
Where are you guys located? Let everybody know where you're at and how they can find you online. Is there a phone number?
Absolutely. So we are located, like you said, at the Fabian Garcia Research Center. We are at 113 West University Avenue. It's that little agricultural space when you go over the train tracks headed towards Mesilla, and there's the gazebo on the left-hand side. That's the same property that we're on. We have a website. It's cpi.nmsu.edu. You can check us out there, learn a lot about chili there. There's also a link there to our online store. We ship within the United States, so if you are in a different place or see something in the shop that you didn't purchase at that time, you can always go online and we'll ship it to you. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can call us if you have any questions, 575-646-3028, or email us, and that's cpi@nmsu.edu.
Now, I have a buddy. He's in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. In fact, he's from Columbia, South Carolina. And he and I are always having the argument that who has the hotter chili. Scott, my good buddy, he does sports in South Carolina, and their tagline is famously hot. That's what they always say. And I always tell him, no, I'm sorry, pal, but we hold the crown here. What is the current situation?
So that is a complicated situation. Yeah. I don't want to make any enemies. But here in New Mexico, we pride ourselves not just in hot chili, but flavorful.
That's right.
And that was really Fabian Garcia's mission when he first developed the first New Mexican pod type. So Fabian Garcia first developed the first New Mexican pod type. He crossbred New Mexican landrace variety called Chimayo, which a lot of people in northern New Mexico know for their red chili. and he crossed it with a Mexican pasilla.
Oh.
So it resulted in a mild but very flavorful chili called New Mexico Number 9. From there, what we do know as Hatch chili, even Anaheim chili at this point, it is a descendant of that first New Mexican Number 9 pod. And so we're known for the flavor, but then of course there is the heat that comes along with it.
Sure.
Now, looking at heat in general, there's a gentleman on the East Coast who has developed very hot chili.
Yes.
He's known for his Carolina Reaper as well as Pepper X. We don't necessarily develop chili for heat.
Right.
Flavor definitely takes precedence, but we do have our sort of notability with the ghost pepper. So Beauchemin, we received seeds for that back in the early 2000s and grew it out for several years. And it consistently tested over 1 million Scoville heat units. And it was the first of its kind. Now, it's very unique because it is what is considered a landrace variety. So it was cultivated for over at least 100 years in Assam, India. And people there enjoy it. And then people who we like to call chili heads, who really like the heat, they really enjoy it. Once that kind of became known, then we received seed out of Trinidad, which is the Trinidad scorpion and Trinidad Moruga scorpion. That's 1.5 and 2 million Scoville heat units. And then shortly thereafter came out the Carolina Reaper. So the Trinidad and the Beauchemin varieties are landrace. So they weren't cultivated specifically for heat. Right. They were cultivated over generations of people looking for hotter peppers, but still flavorful. The Carolina Reaper and Pepper X were developed specifically for that heat level. So they are just ridiculously hot. I don't know if they have flavor. I feel at that point, at over 2 million Scoville heat units, you can't taste the flavor on that.
It's just punching in the face.
That's it's just,
that's all it's
just doing, trying to knock you out. Yeah.
Now, we have a T-shirt at our visitor center that says, we don't just invent chili, or we just don't grow chili, we invent it. So you guys are doing experiments here? Is that be fair to say, experiments and trying to develop things?
Yeah, they're scientific experiments. We are constantly looking at ways of developing a better chili. We've been working on mechanical harvesting now for years because the majority of chili in the state of New Mexico, green chili that's harvested, is hand-picked. And then the red chili is usually mechanically harvested because it's the end of the season. We're also working on increasing yields, disease resistance, developing new varieties for other reasons. Like we just released an orange Serrano called New Mex Enchantment. Oh. And as you know, most Serranos are green and red, but we have the New Mex Enchantment, which is orange, which has a lot of carotenoids in it, which are vitamin A, and actually are good for your eyesight.
Sure. And you guys do all of this on site here?
Yes, we do. Here at the Fabian Garcia Research Center, we do have several of our research programs here. We also have research being conducted at Leindecker, which is about 20 minutes south, and all the way up in Los Lunas, I believe Alcalde as well. There's over a dozen science centers in New Mexico linked to New Mexico State University because we are a land-grant university.
Now, you guys take lots of orders. You touched on that earlier.
Yes.
In the podcast, but you guys are constantly sending things out, I imagine, coast to coast.
Yes, absolutely. All the way up to Alaska, all the way down to Florida, California, New York, even Hawaii. We do ship our seeds all over the United States.
What's probably your most popular item that you have here?
I would have to just say Big Jim seed. Yeah, New Mex Big Jim. It's one of the more popular green chili varieties. Big Jim was actually a farmer in the Hatch region. We named that seed in his honor. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's longest chili, 13.5 inches long. So it makes great rellenos. Yeah. And that's something that, having a large pod, very meaty, very flavorful, medium in heat, it's very palatable to the masses.
Now, if someone's out there listening to us right now, and we talked about seeds, and you guys send out seeds, and you can come here to the gift shop and purchase seeds. Could somebody do this in their backyard? Could they have a little garden and plant the seeds and grow some green and red chili themselves?
Absolutely. I definitely tell people all the time, they're like, what seed will grow where I live? And the main thing is trying to replicate the environment of which chilies like to grow. So chilies actually originate in the Amazon rainforest outside of Bolivia. So if you think about that, average temperature 85, 90 degrees, good humidity, consistent temperature year round. That's where the chilies are going to thrive. Here in New Mexico, we grow between usually April and October, November. And so, if you can replicate the growing season, the length of sunshine each day, the limited water, not completely keeping them soaked. They do like to be stressed a little bit, so don't overwater your plants. Full sun, for sure, full sun. They love the full sun. But the main thing, as long as you have enough days of sunlight, but without freezing temperatures, you should be able to grow your own chili.
And I see you guys have all kinds of other great gift items here in the shop, cookbooks.
Yes, we have our official cookbook of the Chile Pepper Institute that's authored by Dr. Paul Boslin, the founder of the Institute, and Miss Wendy Hamilton. It's a great resource for anyone that wants to learn more about all the chilies, not just New Mexican chili, but all the chilies, and then have corresponding recipes with it. We do also have the Big Book of Hatch Chili, written by Kelly Cleary Coffeen.
Yep.
And that really focuses on New Mexican hatch chili. There's excerpts in there about the families that are growing in hatch, but also wonderful recipes for everything from drinks to desserts and everything in between, as well as other resources for gardening and more about the global history of chilies. There's really a book for everybody who wants or that has any questions about anything to do with chilies.
Are those chili socks over there?
Those are chili socks. Yes, those are some of my favorite socks, to be honest. They're very, very comfortable.
I bet those would be very popular.
They are, yes. Yeah, they are definitely popular. They go along great with our chili t-shirts. We've got our chili kitchen towels and mugs and everything else.
Marinade, salsa. I see all kinds of different things that you guys have for selling.
Yeah, we have. So if you have ever been in New Mexico during roasting season, you know the smell.
Oh, yeah.
The official smell of the state of New Mexico is the smell of roasted chili.
Yeah.
So we also have scented candles, wax melts, and air fresheners. So if you miss the smell of New Mexico during roasting season, we definitely have that in stock, as well as red chili varieties as well that smell like the ristras that are hanging behind us.
Well, April, we thank you for having us today. This has been very informative. And again, if people want to find out more information, if they want to take a tour, they want to come by, how do they go about doing that?
So the first thing I'll say about the tour is our tours are open usually July through October, maybe into November, weather permitting. For our teaching garden, where we grow 150 different varieties of chilies, and we'll do a guided tour. It lasts about 45 minutes to an hour. But you can call us or email us to set that up. If you want to just stop by, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You're welcome to come on by. We'll give you all the education that we can about chilies, answer any questions that you have. Again, you can call or email as well. Yeah.
All right. And we have one final question that we always ask our guests before we close it out. And there's no right or wrong answer, April, okay? So you're not being tested today, okay? This is just straight from the heart, okay? When you talk to people who have never been to Las Cruces or they're not from here, what do you tell them is your most favorite thing about our area?
I'm very partial.
Yeah.
Our chili.
Our chili, of course.
Yeah. I thought you were going to ask me red or green because there is only one correct answer.
Christmas.
That is correct. That is it.
That's the answer.
The
Christmas, red and green. Right?
There has always got to be room on your plate for one or the other. You may lean towards one over the other, but there's always a good red out there and there's always a good green.
Always a good green. All right. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it. Again, give people the web address if they want to check things out.
It's www.cpi.nmsu.edu.
All right, that's going to do it for another edition of Visit Las Cruces Live, the Real New Mexico podcast. I'm your host, Ed Carnathan. We'll see you next time here on Visit Las Cruces Live, the Real New Mexico podcast.